Let's talk about champagne.
By appointment of Her Royal Majesty herself, we have the
Queen.
yeah. This is the Queen champagne. This is the old lady drink.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's perfect because
Yeah.
we're old ladies.
Well, I mean, some of you might be. I'm an old man. This is the Pol Roger, and often mispronounced.
You mean it's not Paul Roger?
No.
Say it ain't so.
Say it ain't so, Pol Roger. Okay. This is a incredible champagne with a lot of history. This was not only the Queen's favorite champagne at the time, but also Winston Churchill.
Really?
Yeah, he drank a lot of this. As a matter of fact, they have a variant of this that is actually made for him to commemorate how much of it he drank. He was a big consumer of this. This is a beautiful blend of Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and Meunier. I really enjoy when a champagne house does that because they are letting all three of those grapes shine, and I'm really excited. I personally, I've never had I've never had it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I've never had it.
So this will be first time
Complete.
for us to try this one.
100%.
Okay.
Never ever had it. So let's open her up and see. So yeah, Paul, this house has been around for a very, very, very long time. And when I say a long time, they are often nicknamed the firm because it has been held in the family for like 200 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they go by the firm. That's yeah. So a little later on, we'll get into the history of the house, but for now, let's...
Now, are they, they're in the Champagne region,
Of course, yes.
and grower-producer?
They're not a grower-producer,
Okay.
okay? And, I have an idea. At some point, I want you to do a how-to on understanding what the differences are between, say, a grower-producer, a non-grower-producer, say, like a house that buys wine versus... growing their own grapes. So I think that'd be a good thing for you to do to research and understand the differences between the different champagne houses and why they're important.
Yeah.
Because one is not more important than the other. However, there are preferences. As you know, like I personally like grower producers.
Right.
Doesn't mean I don't drink the larger houses. I do, I drink a lot of them.
You and Winston.
Yeah, Winston and I drink a lot of champagne. So you ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's try it.
That was a big pop.
It was a big pop, and that cork wanted to come out. It did.
There's a lot of bubbles.
There's a lot of bubbles. There you go.
Oh, it's so bright. That's a lovely color.
All right. Well, Pol Roger. I like that.
It's very fresh.
Yes, it is. It is. It's fresh. I don't like using champagne terminology, but it's got structure to it. Like it's not like someone wadded up some snowballs and made a snowball. So they put it together like, you know what, I want some ice in the middle so when it hits, it really hurts. I want some soft snow around it, so there's some density, and some light fluffy snow around it, so when it flies through the air, it has some, and that's kind of what that nose is like. It is very fresh. I'm getting some
fruit forward.
Yep. There is a hint of honey. There is a hint of brioche.
I'm trying to identify the fruit. My first instinct was apple, but that's not it. Maybe pear?
Apricot.
Oh.
I think I get the hint of apricot. I think when you taste it, you'll get a bigger hint of it. That's good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I see why she likes it. And it's I don't know if you get it. For me, it was very warming going down. Definitely some apricot, some honey.
I taste the honey and the brioche now.
Yep. That's what I mean by the structure. I mean, it's you're getting that freshness is definitely that Chardonnay. The
butteriness.
The butteriness. Now that I'm kind of curious where that's coming from, because remember, when you're dealing with a non-grower producer, you don't always know the makeup of the champagne. Meaning, like, they'll tell you sometimes. Right. They'll tell you it's got Meunier, it's got Chardonnay, it's got Pinot. But they don't always tell you up front if it was put under malolactic fermentation, if it was top fermented or bottom fermented. Sure. All these things really play into it. They don't ever always tell you that. That's one of the reasons I like grower producers, because they do.
Right.
Okay.
Well, because they know. They've been dealing with those grapes from the very beginning.
Right.
Right.
And every decision they make is a conscious choice.
Right.
So at some point, this is made with a lot of reserve wines, and who knows? I mean, I'm sure if we dig deep enough, we could probably find out. But there's definitely some buttery notes to it. That's good.
It's very good. I have to say, it's a little sweeter.
Yeah.
Than what we've been drinking lately.
Yeah.
I definitely taste the sweetness on my tongue, but there's enough acidity too. So I noticed that my mouth is watering. Like 3/4 of the way through the swallow.
Yeah, that astringent nature is definitely there, and that's that Chardonnay. Yeah. I mean, and I'm getting that Meunier.
Yes, exactly.
You get it too? Thank you. Yes. Everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. It's like,
no, you can tell it's the glands are putting forth the saliva to taste it. Yes.
I was doing a wine tasting a little while ago, and I'm like, there's Meunier in that. And they're like, how do you know? I'm like, I feel it. Like,
yes, you can feel it in your mouth.
Feel it in my mouth. There's Meunier.
Yeah, so definitely.
So one thing I like about the bigger houses is when they pull their champagnes, especially a house like this, where they're very focused, like, look, yes, we're gonna buy wine, but we're only gonna buy wine from specific regions. We'll buy it from different houses in that region, or the different growers in the region. But for instance, their Pinot comes from the Montagne de Reims, okay? Their Meunier is coming from Epernay, and the Chardonnay, of course, is coming from the Côte Blanc, okay? So they're gonna come from different villages and different farms in those areas, but I like that because these are, Epernay is pretty good with Meunier. It's not the big Meunier, but Epernay, they've got Meunier pretty well. Obviously, as I just mentioned, Chardonnay and the Côte Blanc, and the Montagne de Reims for that Pinot.
And is that true? Like, other grapes are grown in other regions, but like you said, the Chardonnay is of course coming from the Côte Blanc. Is that because that is the only place, like they only grow Chardonnay grapes, or it's the best, or?
Grapes can be grown anywhere.
Right.
Okay. The reason why the areas are separate has to do with a lot of things: politics, history, bloodlines. I mean, all sorts of things.
Okay.
But the Côte Blanc is special because it is so perfectly, naturally geared towards Chardonnay.
Okay. Just the soil.
The chalkiness of, oh my goodness. I mean, it's called, the Côte Blanc is the you ever were to drive to the Côte Blanc, and the first time I did, you see these towering, like, mountains of chalk.
Oh, wow.
And it is so perfect for Chardonnay.
Okay.
And Chardonnay just thrives in it. And because the ground has much chalk in it, when it rains, the chalk kind of drains the water out. And when you grow champagne grapes, you want them stressed out. Do you get that acidity? Yeah, that's gonna translate into the juice. Do you get that tartness? I'm like, yeah, that's what we're looking for. Do you get that sweetness? And I'm like, yeah, but it's not overpowering. Correct. We want really tight grapes, really intensity. And that's a perfect way to phrase it. It is all about intensity.
Yeah.
Okay. Even though the end product can be mellow, can be soft, that grape is intense.
Because it needs to be like concentrated.
Yeah. It's exactly.
Concentrated flavor, so they get the most out of it.
It's exactly what it is. Very good. That's precisely what it is.
Interesting.
You know, we didn't do any eye candy. Why don't we do that now? And
Isn't that what I'm here for?
you are the eye candy. That has been made very, very clear to me in everybody's comments. It's been made very, very clear to me that this one's the eye candy. Thanks. Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
No, I'm sure you'll have some fans saying, no, Daz, you're eye candy too.
No one lies to me.
Yes, we should do. This is very good.
This
I have to say the Queen has good taste.
Yeah, this makes up for the last nightmare. Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. So what about this? Tell me, as you're sort of learning champagne, there's no wrong answer here. What flavor, what note are you getting the most out of this?
Ooh, in just the smell or the taste?
Both.
I'm getting the fruit. For me, it's very fresh, sweet fruit. So it's not overly sweet, but sometimes when the champagnes aren't as sweet, the fruit is a little bit more subtle. I have to work harder at identifying. This one is like, wow, it could be the fresh Honeycrisp apple. You know, it's a sweet fruit. I don't know, it almost, you mentioned apricots. Is it crazy to say mango?
No, not at all. I mean, there's a hint of, there's pear, there's apricot, there's mango in here. And you don't really associate those with, like, those flavors.
Not at all.
Right, with champagne.
That's why I feel silly even mentioning it.
Right, so we're making a daiquiri here, we're drinking champagne,
right.
What's going on? But that's what that Meunier is lending. That deep, rich fruitiness. The Pinot is going to balance both the intensity of the Chardonnay and balance it out with the boldness.
You know, I think that word you just said, balance, that is the perfect word for this champagne.
That's very balanced.
It is. You're right. It's the perfect snowball. It is like
Is it
a
a
very well balanced champagne.
So I think that, wow, I think we made up for last week's horrible. I'm sorry.
I know. And I know our viewers are wondering, well, what was it?
No, I'm not going to say it. Not out of respect, I'm not going to say it.
Well, and let's be clear. We didn't prefer it.
No.
It wasn't terrible.
No.
But it wasn't our preference of champagne. Other people, I could see loving it.
And you know what? To be fair, okay, and I'm a big believer in honesty, and I'm a big believer in representing a champagne and representing us in a genuine manner. Yeah. There are champagnes that we don't like.
Yes.
And there are champagnes we love that you might not like.
Yeah.
Okay? And our whole goal is to expose both ourselves and you to champagnes that either you have seen 1,000 times. Everybody has seen this in a liquor store. But how many of you have actually bought it and tried it? Okay.
Never.
Leave a comment below if you've tried it. We'd love to hear from you because we love it. This is fantastic.
It's really good.
It's really good. You know, is this an everyday drinker? For me personally, no, it's too sweet. I like Bruts. Let me rephrase that. I like zero dosage and I like extra Brut. I like that pure expression. I like that, like, no sugar added. I love that. And when you are in Champagne, you will find that that's what they drink.
That makes sense. And I do want to address the sweetness because this one is sweeter than what we've had. It's not sweet, but I do want to call it out because I know I hear a lot of people say, oh, I can't drink champagne. The sweetness gives me a headache. Now, do you think that when people say that they're thinking more like Asti Spumante and Cava and some of... I know you hate that word. I'm sorry.
Don't say that. Don't say that word.
I know, it's your least favorite, but they are
They're very sweet, yeah. And that's the problem. In sparkling wine, sweetness, I believe, is added to hide something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll be very blunt. I'll be very honest, and this is just the truth. Champagne uses the best grapes, only grown in Champagne. Champagne is only from Champagne for a reason.
Yeah.
And once you get outside of Champagne, the grapes can be good, but they're not Champagne quality. And when you have a Champagne that you've grown, that has been, you always get a consistently good product. However, you go outside of Champagne, even in France, even in sparkling wines in France, there's going to be a noticeable difference in the quality. And I believe that they add sugar, Cava, Prosecco, Asti, American sparklings, Australian sparklings, South African sparklings, Argentinian sparklings.
They add sugar.
They add sugar. But always remember that Champagne, there's a reason why it is held such a high standard. There's a reason why this is opulence in a glass. There's a reason why this is served at royalty, presidents, embassies. I mean, there's a reason why. And it's not because it's good wine with bubbles in it. That upsets me. Anyway.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful, like you.
Aw.
As always, thank you all for joining us, and expect to see a lot more videos. We've been negligent. It's Easter, and
We had a lot of commitments.
a lot of family commitments, and I think now we're gonna get back on track. And so, best job I've ever had in my life. This is I can't complain. I mean, like
Talking about champagne.
drinking champagne.
Drinking champagne.
Drinking champagne. Till next time.
Salut.
Salute.